Let me tell you something that sounds crazy, but is actually true. You already know how to learn insanely fast. You did it once before. No notes, no flashcards, no study harder advice. When you were a kid, you learned an entire language without even trying. You didn't sit down and memorize grammar rules. You didn't stress about exams. You just absorbed everything. Then school happened. Bright lights, quiet rooms, sit still, memorize this, repeat that. And suddenly, learning felt slow, painful, and exhausting. Here's the scary part. The problem was never your brain. It was the system. And guess what? The CIA figured this out a long time ago. As a kid, learning was everywhere. Stories before bed, songs in the car, games, conversations, curiosity. Your brain learned naturally because it was relaxed, curious, and emotional. Then, classrooms changed everything. School trained you to learn in one way only. Sit still, stay quiet, focus for long periods, memorize random facts. That's not how the brain actually works. That's how you train people to follow rules, not absorb information. The CIA didn't have that luxury. They needed people who could learn fast, languages in weeks, files in minutes, details under pressure.
So instead of copying school, they studied how the brain really learns.
Here's something wild. Kids learn best when they're not fully alert. Think about it. Bedtime stories, music playing in the background, cartoons half-watched while lying on the floor. Your brain absorbs information best in a calm, dreamy state. That state is called theta mode, the space between awake and asleep. Researchers notice that the brain becomes more open there, less resistance, less overthinking, more absorption. How do you use this as a student? Simple. Before bed, play soft theta wave audio around 4 to 7 Hz. Lightly review key ideas. Listen to summaries, vocab, or concepts. Don't force it. Let the information float in as you fall asleep.
Your brain keeps working while you rest. Not magic, just biology. Now think back to learning how to ride a bike. Cars passing, people shouting, dogs barking, total chaos. Yet you learned anyway. Now think about studying. Someone coughs, a chair moves, a phone buzzes, and suddenly you can't focus. That's not weakness, that's training. School taught your brain that learning only happens in silence. Real life isn't silent. CIA training isn't silent either. They learn under noise, pressure, and distractions. Your fix: study with low background noise, coffee shop sounds, library ambience, light instrumental noise. This retrains your brain to focus anywhere, not just perfect conditions.
Smell is one of the strongest memory triggers your brain has. You've probably experienced this before. You smell something random and suddenly a childhood memory pops up instantly. That's because smell is directly linked to the part of your brain that handles memory and emotions. The problem is, school classrooms are lifeless. There's no smell, no emotion, nothing for your brain to attach information to, which makes memories weak and easy to forget. Here's how you can fix that. Start using one specific smell for each subject you study. For example, chew mint gum when you're doing math, use lavender while reading or studying languages, and citrus scents when you're memorizing facts. Then, when it's time for revision or an exam, bring that same smell back. Your brain recognizes it instantly and switches into learning mode, almost like pressing a shortcut button for memory recall. As a kid, you knew your house perfectly. Every corner, every hiding spot. That's spatial memory, and it's powerful. Instead of memorizing lists, place information in specific locations like write formulas on the desk, definitions on the doors, and daily tasks on the mirror. When you walk past those spots, your brain refreshes the info automatically. Your room becomes a living study guide. Kids don't focus on one thing for an hour straight. They naturally switch between activities, and that's not distraction. That's how the brain stays engaged. Your brain gets bored when you force it to sit on one topic for too long. Instead of doing long, draining study sessions, try this. Study one topic for about 20 minutes, then switch to a different subject for the next 20 minutes. After that, rotate back again. This keeps your brain active, prevents burnout, and makes studying feel less boring. More focus, more energy, and better memory retention. You're not bad at learning. You were trained to learn badly. Speed alone doesn't matter if you're studying the wrong things. Learning faster won't help if the content itself is useless, because fast garbage is still garbage. The real skill is knowing what actually matters. That means identifying the key 20% of information, the core concepts that carry most of the value, and the ideas that connect everything together. When you focus on those instead of trying to memorize everything, learning suddenly becomes faster, easier, and almost unfair. Your brain isn't broken. It remembers how to learn. You just stopped trusting it. So here's the question. If you already know how to learn fast, what's stopping you from using it again? Drop your thoughts below.